This is an urgent video if you own any shares in UGAZ and you are facing a reverse split. You might need to take action now before the reverse split occurs. Let me explain. No one is covering this, which I'm kind of surprised because I'm pretty sure there are many traders out there who know more than I do. But if you own UGAZ, okay, which is a natural gas ETF, it's facing a reverse split that would take effective on the open of December 23rd, 2019. So what this means is that if you want to take any action, you must do it today. If you want to take any action when it comes facing the reverse split that will occur on UGAZ, because it will be effective on December 23rd. So let me explain what action that you might need to take. First, let me talk about UGAZ and what can happen. So during a reverse split, that means that your shares that you own today, you will have less shares in the future after the reverse split. Now, there are a few things that can occur during a reverse split. Some of you will have either partial, fractional, or odd shares. What do I mean? UGAZ is going for a 1-for-10 split, as I mentioned before. That means that if you own 100 shares, after the split, you will own 10 shares. Now, the question is, what will happen if you own an odd number of shares? For instance, let's say that before the split, you own 555 shares of UGAZ. That means that if you take 555 shares and divide it by 10, you will have a odd number of shares left over. In this case, you will have 5 shares left over. So what happens to those 5 shares? Well, 3 different scenarios can happen with those 5 shares, with those partial shares. One is that they could pay you nothing for them. That means that you can lose money on it. The second thing they can do is either round up to the nearest share. And the third thing they can do is pay you cash equal to the value of the partial shares. So in this scenario, when it comes to UGAZ, they announced that they will be paying a cash value. But there's a catch here. That means that the cash value will be determined by the market on December 30th, but you won't receive that cash until January 30th, so almost a week away, which I do not want to wait a whole week for my cash when I can put it in the market. So those are the 3 different scenarios. So when it comes to UGAZ, they said that they will pay you cash for the partial shares. Okay. So let's say, for example, that today UGAZ is priced at $9 a share. Okay, this is before the split. Okay, now let's see what will happen after UGAZ splits. Okay, so after UGAZ splits, if you own 555 shares, it will be reduced to 55 shares. However, the price of UGAZ per a share will be $90 a share. But you have 5 shares left over, which is either a partial or you can call it an odd shares. That means based upon the close before the split occurred, it was $9 a share. So it's possible UGAZ might pay you $45 for the 5 remaining shares. However, like I said before, those that the cash value is not really determined. So it's a question mark on what really they will pay. They could pay you 9, they could pay you 8, they could pay you 10. We really don't know what that value will be. Plus, you won't be able to receive that cash payment until January 3rd. Okay, so I don't want to be sitting on the sidelines, or I don't want the determination to be in UGAZ. I want to have control of my own shares. So what can we do? Well, we need to take action now. One is that we got to make sure that the shares that we own is divisible by 10. So that means that we need to either add some shares or we need to sell some shares so that our holdings is divisible by 10. So we could take our 555 shares, add 5 shares to it, then we will now own 560 shares. Now remember, we have to do this before the split occurs. Or you could take our 555 shares and we can sell 5 shares. Now we will own 550 shares. So in the first scenario, our 1 for 10 split will equate to 56 shares with 0 odd shares. That is what we want. In our second scenario, our the amount of shares that we will own after we sell 5 shares would be 550 shares, which equate to 55 shares after the 1 for 10 split. So I recommend that you do one of these two prior to the close of today, or prior to the split, the reverse split of UGAZ. So it's very important that you take action now if you own an odd number of shares and they are not divisible by 10. Okay? So I'll talk to you later, and I hope this information was beneficial. If it was, please click on the like below, and I'll see you later. Bye.